Evening guys, welcome to our one more series within 15 minutes. So today we are going to discuss about acute leukemia. So as we all know, the classification of this acute myeloid leukemia is very confusing. We always find difficult to remember, right? So I'm making a small effort to make it easy so you can retain it. So basically this acute myeloid leukemia, for any leukemia, we need a blast more than 20%, right? If you are having a myeloblast, we call it as acute myeloid leukemia. If you are having a lymphoblast, we call it as acute lymphoblastic leukemia, right? Now, coming to the classification, the recent WHO classifies the acute myeloid leukemia by morphology, by genetic abnormality. When it occurs, when this myeloid leukemia goes and infiltrates the extra hematopoietic organs, we call it as myeloid sarcoma, right? So, acute myeloid leukemia defined by differentiation, it is same like your previous FAB only, where you have leukemia with AML with minimal differentiation, without maturation, with maturation. What? Minimal differentiation, without maturation, with maturation. Then you have a basophilic myelomonocytic leukemia, monocytic leukemia, erythroid leukemia, megakaryoblast leukemia. So this is same like your previous FAB classification. One more time, how you'll remember? AML with minimal differentiation, AML without maturation, AML with maturation, acute basophilic leukemia, myelomonocytic leukemia, monocytic leukemia, and erythroid leukemia and megakaryoblast leukemia, right? This is easy. Now, when we come to this AML with defined by genetic abnormality, by seeing this classification only, it is overwhelming, right? It is very overwhelming. How to remember all this? It's difficult. We cannot by heart. So let's decode it. So remember, this you divide into fusion, rearrangement, and mutation. In rearrangement, just remember three things. KMT2A, MECOM, NUP98. What? So acute myeloid leukemia with KMT2A rearrangement, acute myeloid leukemia with MECOM rearrangement, acute myeloid leukemia with NUP98 rearrangement. Like that, you remember mutations. Acute myeloid leukemia with NPM1 mutation, acute myeloid leukemia with SEPA mutations. As you know, the AML with this defined genetic abnormality doesn't require your 20% blast criteria, right? You have to demonstrate these mutations to call this. But there are exceptions. Like for example, SEPA, you have to need more than or equal to 20% blast. That's why I have put with the star mark. So how to do it? Please daily write down 3 to 5 times minimum for next 4-5 days. You will remember them. Okay. So how are we going to remember AML with defined genetic abnormalities? By fusion, by rearrangement, by mutations. So in rearrangements, you have three things. KMT2A, MECOM, NUP98. Whereas for mutations, you have two. NPM1, SEPA. For SEPA, you need more than or equal to 20% blast. Actually, for defined genetic abnormality, you don't need the 20% blast. But SEPA, you need. Now coming to, we finished rearrangements and mutations. Now coming to the fusion part. So in the fusion part, you have 6 entities. So we all know APML, right? Acute promyelocytic leukemia is nothing but your PML RARA. That we remember, right? Then remember RUNX1, RUNXT1. Then one more R is RBM15. Okay, reserve bank, like that you remember. 15 and MRTFA. So this is one group. So PML RARA, RUNX1, RUNXT1, then RBM15, MRTFA. This is one group. Then you remember, you know BCR-ABL, right? Which will be there in your CML. So same thing you will see here. So here also you need how many percent blast? More than or equal to 20% blast to call it as AML with BCR-ABL. So after B comes your C, that is CBFP MYH11 fusion. Then after C comes your DEC-NUC 214 fusion. So this second pair will be BCR-ABL, CBFP MIH11, DEC-NUC 212 fusion. Okay. So after this, we have AML, myelodysplasia related AML with other defined genetic alterations. So both of them also requires blast more than or equal to 20%. So these are the exceptions you have to remember. So now to put together, we'll revise one more time. So how AML are defined? AML is defined by differentiation, by genetic abnormality, by myeloid sarcoma. For differentiation, you have minimal differentiation, without maturation, with maturation, basophilic leukemia, myelomonocytic leukemia, monocytic leukemia, erythroid leukemia, megakaryoblasttic leukemia, right? For genetic abnormality, you divide them into fusions, rearrangement, and mutations. For this defined genetic abnormality, you don't need 20% of blast. You have to demonstrate these mutations. But there are exceptions like for SEPA and BCR-ABL, you have to have 20% or more than 20% blast. For rearrangements, you have to remember three things that KMT2A, MECOM, NUP98, mutations, NPM1, and SEPA. Coming to fusions, we have divided into two groups. One is PML-RARA, RUNX1, RUNX-T1, RBM15 and MRTFA. Okay. Then BCR-ABL, fusion, B. Then SEB, CBFP, MIH11, then DEC, NUP 214 fusion, right? So these are the things. Apart from this, you have AML with myelodysplasia related, AML with other defined genetic alterations. So done. After this, we have to remember the translocations. So we already know PML, APML, right? That is PML RARA 1517, you know, right? BCR ABL, you know, 1922. This is there for your CML also, right? Now just remember 22, no? So here also 22. 22, 1, this will be 21. So 8, 1, this will be 9. You understood? So RUNX1, RUNX-T1 is 1822. Whereas your RBM 15 MRTFA is 122. So if you count, this will become 922. Got my point? So PML RARA 1517, RUNX1, RUNX-T1 will be 822, RBM 15, sorry, RUNX1, RUNX-T1 will be 821. Sorry, this you have to remember like 821. Okay, then RBM 15 and MRTFA will be 122. Then your BCR-ABL will be 922. So it will be in the continuity 21, 22, 22, then 8, 1, 9, like that you remember. Now coming to SEB, CB, FP, MI, 11, 11, right? So here two ones are there. So you remember 16, 16 or inversion 16. Okay. So one is mirroring two times, like that you remember 16, 16. Whereas DEC NUP 16, right? So take 6 and write 9. That's it. So it is easy now. Remember PML RARA translocation 15/17, RUNX1, RUNX-T1 821, RBM 15 MRTF1 is 1/22, BCR-ABL 9/22, SEB MYH 11/11. So remember 16, 16 or inversion 16. DEC NUP 6/9. So this is a simplified version to remember this translocation. Hope you like it. See you in the next class.